Hello everybody, welcome back to Dickie's videos, and of course, here we are with Field of Glory Kingdoms. Of course, remember ladies, click the like and subscribe button. Remember to pause the video at any point within the video. We're going through the tutorial, looking at the basics of Field of Glory Kingdoms. We've been through a couple of the tutorials in the last few days, and we're just going to continue to go through them. We've been through trading, we've been through movement, and now we're on to military recruitment and how we recruit units, of course, in Field of Glory Kingdoms, and probably looking back, of course, Field of Glory Empires. So, units in kingdoms are divided into three categories. Standing army units, which are generally powerful but expensive to reign. They gain experience normally and will cost you authority if you lose or disband them. Next are levies, which are inexpensive to recruit but don't gain much experience but cost too much in upkeep, but you do not want to use. Lastly, there are mercenaries, who usually cost gold but are quite a lot of it. Recruitment speed is often influenced by equipment produced in the region. Nobles, which contribute, as in, of course, military tasks. Military buildings provide additional equipment to accelerate recruitment, although in general population doesn't contribute much to this in regard. To review, left click and right click the queue and add 3 units. So, of course, we've got our panel down here, and of course we've gone to the recruitment. If you click the province and you, of course, we'll go to the region, and then we'll go to the, of course, recruitment. So we just want 3 units. It doesn't really say what unit, so we'll just go with 3 units of slingers. So remember to click, of course, the help button, and we can have a quick look through that now, actually. So here we are. The recruitment panel, of course, shows the available units available to your nation in that region. Of course, units have a cost of money, manpower, metal, equipment. Equipment is generated in small quantities by your population, but bigger amounts by specialized military structures. Once the region has accumulated enough equipment, your unit order is produced and costs money, manpower, and metal deducted from your national stockpile. Also, don't forget, units also have variable upkeep costs: money, manpower, metal. So watch how your income varies with the size of your army. Almost all nations, though, have an allowance of retainers. 5 or so units of have normal production costs, but reduced maintenance costs. Beyond this allowance, each unit will, of course, cost each turn. So if we just look at the slingers so far, so if we look at the slingers down here, we have the cost, which is 5 money, 15 manpower, and 8 equipment. And of course the upkeep would be 6 money and 5 manpower. And of course, the bigger the unit, of course the big knights and sergeants are even more. So of course, money is 190, manpower 20, metals 24, and equipment 106. Of course, there is an asterisk. Money cost increases with each active unit of that type by 15%. So the more you have, the more you're going to spend. And of course, the upkeep is very high for the knights. Very, very interesting. So there we go. So let's continue with the tutorial. So this is 2 out of 2. Remember, so creating an effective army and kingdom is a task requiring some planning, and units vary in the effectiveness based on the terrain and scale of the battle. So the combat power is estimated on each unit card. It's just a rough guide. It doesn't capture all of the nuances of the unit abilities. So sometimes a big powerful, as we saw in previous tutorials that I've done, the fact is a big powerful army may not be as effective in a rough terrain position or anything like that. It could alter depending where you're fighting and what you're fighting. So even a really strong army can an army with a big combat value can actually be significantly weaker than it actually is. So spearmen may be effective against cavalry in the charge in the open, but they struggle against even light woodsmen in forest. We'll go into more detail about this during the first battle, but let's resume our military campaign. Select one of your armies, the 2 regions northeast of our region, by doing right click on the region proper, so we can of course confront the army. And let's do that. So by right click, so is it this army that wants to be selected? Don't know. Select and move your army to the 2 regions northeast. So we want to go up to here. Okay, is that where we want to go? I think it's where we want to go. Taffa. Oh, I don't actually know where it wants to go. Oh, it actually wants us. I don't think we're actually at war with them to go to them. Let's end that turn. So we're on route for the enemy territory. Let's discuss the logistics. The saying goes, an army marches on its stomach. Not literally, unless it is, which means your soldiers need to be well fed to proceed. Please select the army so we can go deeper into the essentials. So, if you look at the left of the unit panel, below the general's portrait, you'll see a selection of food consumption represented by a chicken wing. This represents the total amount of food your units consume each turn, with mounted units consuming the most and skirmishers the least. Your units can draw food from friendly regions, either one they're currently in or an adjacent ones. If they venture deep into enemy territory, into a resource-poor, devastated region without sufficient food, they rely on foraging, plundering, only for a limited time. But beyond that point, the unit will start losing one effectiveness point per turn, followed by one hit point until they eventually die. So going gun-ho sometimes into an enemy territory is probably a very negative thing here. So we've of course got to be careful about supply. As you can see here, we've got food supply of 11, which will decrease one each turn if we're not getting supply, and then we'll start taking hit points. To recover, whether from lack of supplies or combat loss, your units will be in a friendly region with adequate food to the region hit points. The region must also have a higher loyalty rating above 50. Please click on the region to the enemy army's destination. So yeah, interestingly, so we have to have a friendly region which has a higher loyalty cost. Okay, let's click on the next destination, which is here. So, here we go with the next thing. So, a province is a weakly defended. The only hastily levied local militia will form up in opposition to your army, making the chances of survival quite low. The situation would be different if there were a permanent militia fortification, like a hill keep or even worse, a castle. The structures have a large garrison, are capable of fending off a medium-sized armies on their own. Additionally, castles, similar fortifications, are walled, meaning you won't gain control of the region until the defenders either surrender after a siege or you decide to assault the walls. As we will see, you could turn into a bloody affair if you don't wait for the breach. Before the immediate battle, let's talk rapidly on the importance of religion and the destiny and your destiny. So, click on the small mosque of the province. So here we go, and let's click on the small mosque. Is there a small mosque here? Nope, that is a crude. There isn't a small mosque there. There isn't a small mosque in that province. That must be a bad thing in the tutorial, but we'll go with it anyway. Religion in the kingdom is vitally important, as we return Middle Ages, impacting both local population and global dynamics. Can't even speak now. Regional generating piety across increasing population loyalty. Diminishes as likelihood of heretics. These are similar to rebels with the ability to convert neighbouring populations to the cause will undermine the rule where they ever appear. Maintaining a balance between piety and truth increases the educational level of your populace. Rewarding you with additional legacy points, the key to victory. What's more, populations adhering to the religions of other nations' faith as the great unrest and reduced productivity and ability to convert. Therefore, the conversion process depends on the piety points and clergy population is quite important to understand the broader implications of religion. Please click the religion panel located at the top bar immediately left of the coat of arms. So here we go. We've got the this is new, of course, to Field of Glory Kingdoms. So, tensions often arise between Christians and Muslims, and conflicts or harassments aimed at pagans or Jews were common during this period. Nations of differing religions will over time experience degrade relations unless they follow the treaty, maintaining mutual understanding. The absence of such treaties, holy wars such as crusades, jihads may occur. These wars are frequently target conquests of 5 holy cities. So, of course, Rome, Constantinople, Jerusalem, Mecca, and Media are affected by holy wars. Benefits like extra authority gained and automatic passage of rights with the fellow participants. But it can also entangle you in a costly, prolonged conflict. The Crusades, in addition, introduce elements such as new Crusader factions, which are intensely focused on their goals. Please click the Nation panel or hit the end button. There we go. So, Nation and Progress. The National Panel provides information about the ruler, their health, abilities. It also gives access to the realm traits, which may be unique to your nation. For instance, Leon possesses the Reconquista perk, offering various advantages. However, arguably the most crucial when your realm evolves. To advance from a duchy to a powerful monarchy, you must progress through several stages of 5 progress tokens. After successfully transforming a young, stable, and an ascending stage, driven by high authority, you can upgrade into a more mature realm, sometimes referred as a government. Yet the journey is long. High authority comes at drawbacks. It is wise to consolidate your position to proceed cautiously. Now let's take a closer look at this, which plays a role in effective governance. Please click the portrait or click C and N. There we go. The portraits, of course, who we are, and if we've got any sons and daughters. So, success, your ruler influences your realm, to the extent that sometimes better for them to have an accident in the presence of a spouse, or important for them securing a strong heir. Upon your ruler's death, the heir inherits the crown. But complications arise if they are too young, or worse, no heirs. In such cases, the relative, like a brother, uncle, might step in. Even a usurper potentially sparking a civil war. So there we go, we can have usurpers. They can severely impact the integrity and territory of your nation's overall authority. Additionally, such turmoil might arise spontaneously if a character of low loyalty decides to seize power, even through a coup or commanding troops. Therefore, vital to monitor the characters with low loyalty. While appointing new characters to command of armies and provinces, it is important to also pose a risk over time. So we've got to be careful. Of course, we have our relatives and things. We can actually see their loyalty. If we know their loyalty, because it can be unknown, their health, and of course the charge they're given, and if they're wealth and poor. Let's click the end turn. There we go. So here we are. The battle is about to begin. But before... Just before, so St. James strike from Spain. I'm not going to pronounce that in Spanish because I will butcher it. So, with the regional panel, select over the terrain icon, which is displayed as a brown round with 6 inscribed in it. Where we're looking, there we go. Land costs 6 and mountains. So. The tooltips reveal several important features about the region. First, the mountains, which means it costs you 6 movement points to enter unless there is a track, which would reduce the cost by 2. I think then it will be reduced by 4. The frontage, of course, is 6. The frontage refers to the battle width. Only up to 6 units can engage in combat. Therefore, a few armed peasants units will face only 6 units of the upcoming battle, though they should be more than sufficient to defeat them. Last but not least, there is a defense rating of 2, means each peasant will gain +2 bonus to the defense in battle, which is significant. While it may not save them, but consider in a different situation, it will be if they were heavy spearmen instead. So, with that said, let's click the end turn and proceed with the anticipated battle. So as we can see there, the terrain, of course, making a vital importance for what we do there. And of course, you know, like I said, if that was +2 on a heavy unit, we would be in a lot more trouble than we would actually be in a unit. Of course, a peasant's fine. So there we go. When a battle occurs during your turn, the panel appears several options. The first options allow you to view the battle in details, clicking the view battle. The second lets you skip directly to the summary and the view report. Another choice is manually play the battle in Field Glory Medieval. As previous title, Empires, we can export it in. For now, the features only supports open field battle. Assaults on castles, sea battles are not available. Additionally, this is limited to single player mode. So, of course, in multiplayer, you can only play automated battles. In single player, you can, of course, have the choice to export or view or skip. Lastly, you can skip the entire process and continue the proceeding. The battle outcome will be displayed in the message log, and this will be located on the region where the battle took place. Now, let's just click view battle. So, battle, here we go. So the battle takes place on a grid resembling a checkerboard, where raw combatants value unit are just 1 out of 3 factors determining the outcome of each skirmish. So we've got combat value, leadership, and efficiency. So each plays a unique role in a duel. As the unit face off 1-on-1 melee combat, each fact operates differently from the other two. In essence, poor leadership can be offset by sheer combat power. Even a skilled general can only do so much compensate for low unit efficiency. Ideally, you want to optimize all 3 values, but that's easier to say than done. So the triangle rule. To follow the tutorial, we can easily make it sure continuous play. Unchecked, you got to click it. So let's just click as we go. So we've just come to the range phase. So the range phase for all units on both sides fire at the enemy lines. While range units can't eliminate enemies, they can significantly weaken them, reducing the chance of success subsequent melee. Inexperienced range units tend to fire haphazardly within why you notice some of the enemies are targeted per the orange rectangle by multiple units, while others escape unscathed. Veteran range units are more skilled and tend to choose the most effective ones, which I did not know. So more veteran troops can actually target better units. Press the play button. Once all shots have been fired, the slingers have returned the fire, and as we can see here, I don't think we actually hit with any of our things. So we're just going to click the play button. So melee consists of a series of duels between opposing units. Each unit rolls a dice equal to 1 plus the efficiency of the command of the general. So each unit rolls between 1 and 3 dice. Only the highest die is kept. Additionally, each die is re-rolled. Each die is re-rolled until the value is at least equal to the sum of the unit's experience effectiveness. This die value is added to the unit's combat value. If a unit is exhausted, meaning it has 0 effect, the combat value is halved. So exhaustion on the range phase is very good. The combat value is also received some bonuses. So +1 melee unit, +1 to +3 if it's a range unit. Finally, terrain, defense unit is substantial for the current terrain. Heavy and terrain woods further modify. So if we just see what we've got here. So we've got a combat rating of 6. So we've got a combat rating of 6. We've got clumsy, which gives us a -2, but plus the support. I'm just trying to work that out. So we've got 6 rating, -2 for the clumsy, +2, so we're at a 6. And then it seems like we've rolled a 9. So the 6 plus the 9 it is of course 15. He has +2, so he has defense of a total rating of 5. He rolled a 10. He did very well there. He rolled a 10. And what else does he have? It's effectiveness +3. And minus what? I'm just trying to work that out properly to make sure we got that right. So he rolled a 10. He's got effectiveness of 15. So why did he get the minus there? I'm just trying to understand how he got the minus. So we got the effectiveness is 3. He got hit 1. So we got 10. He got 10. So dual unique defense rating is 3. Plus the 2. Plus the 5. Effectiveness is 3. I'm trying to work that out in my head how he actually got a 13 rather than a 15. Because he's got a -2 somewhere. And I'm trying to work out. I can work out why we got the thing. I'm not entirely sure why he got that minus there. Is he exhausted or anything? Nope. Just a. So we suffered a hit. So here we go. So we got hits 1. Good skirmisher. So that gives us 10. I'm not entirely sure why that did that. Okay, let's click the continuous. So in some instances, flanking attacks occur. This happened when one side has more troops or more cavalry than in the open. In open terrain, the cavalry units have a special green squares reserved for them on the battlefield, making flank maneuvers a frequent occurrence. Once sword duels are completed, the game will determine if there is a winner. If so, the pursuit phase will ensue, inflicting additional losses on the defeated side. Fast unit skirmishes are particularly effective to place against defeated troops. There we go. So if this battlefield was longer, we would have things. I'm not entirely sure about that -3 on there. And there we go. Close the battle. So the summary allows you to review the battlefield or the current status of surviving units. They gain experience on the time they fight, even if they don't kill anyone. However, levies gain experience so slowly that they're often considered inefficient to maintain during peacetime, as they cost half their initial value to upkeep. Standing army units, SAUs, which makes sense, and mercenaries differ from the gain experience quickly, and they can become a formidable force on the battlefield once they reach veteran status. Winning a battle can grant your nation additional authorities, more war score points, which are currently used for negotiating peace terms. Some nations also receive extra perks for winning battles, such as additional gold, even slaves, thralls, and for Vikings. Once the summary panel will turn on automatically resume, proceeding to all of our orders in direction of the map. So there we go. Of course, we suffered a hit there, I think, did from the enemy, but there we go. All right, thanks for watching, folks. That was, of course, a bit of the combat. I was slightly unsure about that 13 combat on the skirmish, the light javelin, but I'm going to come back to that in a later video. All right, and bye-bye.